Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the live stream here on the channel. Let's see what we have in here today. We have Mary, Legacy, Indiana, Brooklyn, as well as Kate, Grayson, Sebastian, Joshua. Let's see, Ben, Chip. Also have Kevin in here, Katie, and Becca and Jim. Glad to have you guys all in here for another live stream on the channel. Hopefully everyone's doing well as everybody else who is tuning in and may not be chatting. Glad to have you here as well. And yeah, I don't believe there's any storms in Tennessee. Yeah, no, there's no storms in Tennessee at the moment, but let's go ahead and just dive right on into this. I'm going to move this over here, and then we can switch the scene if I can find it. It's this one, I think. The cam should be on. We at the right date. Yep, everything's good. All right, so we're going to be talking about the weather. Shocker, right? Let me just go ahead and pull this right back on over here. Actually, you know, we'll switch scenes right on over to this. Normally, we don't use this scene. Is it still good? Yeah, okay. I haven't used this one in a hot minute because we've been doing live coverage. So, there's not much to today's risk for severe weather. I mean, we've got a slight risk for severe weather up here towards North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, down into the panhandle of Oklahoma. Nothing too over the top today. We do have the potential for a brief tornado along the risk region. If I just go and show you, we've got actually a small 2% further down to the south, so it's not anything too crazy. Then we have a big 15% wind risk here, and a big 15% hail risk. Then tomorrow, we've got another slight risk for severe weather with a large, very large 2% chance for tornadoes. I expect this will be upgraded to a 5% generally out in this area. The wind threat is a big 15% as well, and the hail threat is a 15 sig. They added that on the new update at 12:30 p.m. because that was not there this morning. I would not be surprised to see them upgrade this to an enhanced risk. Unfortunately, I won't be able to cover a small chunk of tomorrow's threat, but I do plan on doing a 2-hour coverage. If I'm not hit with a brick of tiredness like yesterday, that was insane. I couldn't even stream, but this morning I did finish up the chasing video, so that was put out at 4 p.m. today, and it seems like a lot of you guys enjoyed that. And if we go to day 3, which is the day after tomorrow, so geez, tomorrow is Thursday, so this would be Friday's risk for severe weather. We've got a 15% chance for severe storms out here in Texas. Let me just turn on some locations so y'all can see that. So that includes Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton, down towards Austin, College Station, Beaumont, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Alexandria, Louisiana, Shreveport, Texarkana area, Paris. And the thing to note about all of these days is we're not expecting much of, if any of a solid tornado threat. So tornadoes are definitely going to be a possibility. But we're not expecting that widespread, ridiculous May type outbreak ordeal like we had for most of May. And if this forecast holds, if we stay with a day 1 slight, a day 2 slight, and a day 3 slight, this will be a slight risk plus for every single day in May. So every single day in May will be a slight risk or greater. We've had multiple moderates. We almost had 2 high risks, but we ended up with 1 because there was too much uncertainty on the was it the I forgot what day they were talking about going high risk for in late May. But anyways, so we had a lot of moderates. We had 1 high risk. We had a bunch of enhanced. And we've actually had more. I'm pretty sure we've had more enhanced risks than we have with slights. And we haven't had a single marginal risk day. So we've had at least a slight risk or greater for every day of May. That is if this holds. So they could downgrade the threat for severe weather on like day 2 or day 3. Actually, I don't see either. Today's already a slight risk, so nothing with that. Tomorrow will probably be a slight or enhanced. So the only day that may be downgraded or, has opportunity to be downgraded is probably day 3. And I imagine that's not going to happen. That's Friday, correct? Yeah. I don't think that will be downgraded. Just looking at the a singular model run right now, I'll look at another one just to see. I don't think that's going to be downgraded either. So we should have a full active month of May, just slight risk or greater, which will be crazy. And yeah, a lot of people said that it was going to be quiet. Never say the Q word. June looks inactive for the middle portion into the early portion into the middle portion of June. It looks like we should have a dominant high pressure. If I just switch you guys on over to this. So this is our 500 millibar wind speeds. And you'll notice we don't have any crazy troughs, any massive mega troughs, as some people like to call it. But we actually have these blocking high pressures. And as we go into June 4th, we may have a classic omega block out here that ends up blocking most of our troughs. So what this would do is this would lead to a very active northern plains, Midwest, and maybe into my neck of the woods in the mid-Atlantic season here. So that is a possibility. I don't think we're going to be fully inactive for June, but I don't think we're going to have those big, massive trough ejections that spawn, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 tornadoes. Definitely not like the 60, 70 tornadoes we've had earlier days this year and earlier days in May. So I think we'll still be active to the point that we're going to be having multiple coverages in June, but I don't think any of them are going to necessitate, like the 6, 7 or plus hours of coverage that we do for these big risks. So severe weather is definitely going to occur in late May, the next 3 days, as well as into all of June, but I just don't see it being a big setup yet. Now, after that high pressure breaks down beyond, June 15th or so, after that high pressure moves off the coastline, we'll probably see a more substantial trough move through. I don't know if one of our really long-range models show that. I actually haven't looked at that. I wonder if it does show it. Let me see. I need to go to a different website that has a model run that goes out like 700 hours just to see the basic pattern that we're getting in here, because that would be helpful. So I think we're going to end May with a lot of hail and a lot of wind and a few tornadoes. I think we'll go into June relatively active for at least a couple days of strong to severe storms. And then as we get into late June, we'll probably have a few troughs that end up being significant. But at the moment, most models do depict that high pressure holding in till after June 14th. So we'll probably have a lot of sneaky short waves that try to sneak through and cause severe weather all the way up from, Kansas up through North Dakota, back down southeast towards the Atlantic coastline and the East Coast. But like I said, I don't think we'll have any of that crazy action in the Central Plains. But first, we got to get through early early June. I think the setup for this is going to be a very active Western Plains out in this area, which if I live streamed yesterday, I would have told you guys that. I mean, we already have 3 slight risks in this general vicinity. I think that will continue until we get that Omega block to set up closer towards June 3rd or June 4th. Then we'll start to calm down. And then a couple days after that, maybe towards the 5th or the 6th, that's when we're probably going to start with a bit of activity towards the northern plains into the Midwest. The significance of it is definitely a big question mark. You know, we're just trying to see the overall broader pattern of what may occur over the next couple days and the next couple weeks. We're not looking at specifics in terms of significant severe potential. The main day over like the next week is tomorrow. That's the main day that they've highlighted. That's the main day that it's probably going to end up having the most severe weather. I imagine it's going to be full of more hail and more wind and brief tornadoes. But again, I don't see any strong tornado potential. We'll put it that way. That's what I'm gonna say. So I don't see any strong tornado potential to close out May or to begin June. I think it's gonna have to be towards late June, which is why I think maybe we'll get a storm chase out here in the Mid-Atlantic towards late June. I don't know if Lucky will be able to chase, but we'll see. I'm hoping that we could get a storm chase out here in North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina towards late June. So we'll just keep an eye on the models, but a lot's going to change. You know, we don't like to look at models past 180 hours out. So basically, let's see. I have a message pinned from you. Not on my end. It's still the same one. I mean, if you did, it's not that hard to fix. Nope, there's good movies are hard to come by nowadays. But yeah. Maybe you just dismissed it on your end, Legacy, but it's still there for me, so don't worry about it. But yeah, if we just go ahead and push this forward. So again, basically what we're looking at is we're looking at a decently active western portion of the plains from now, starting yesterday, probably lasting towards June 2nd or so. Then we're going to get a, June 2nd, June 3rd. Then we should get a high pressure that sets in after that towards June 4th or so. That should keep the weather at least decently calm for a day or two. Ooh, so long, right? And then by the time we go towards June 5th, June 6th, we're probably going to see this pattern develop where we have a slip and slide risk here for the Midwest into the Mid-Atlantic, where we could see severe weather from, New York back up towards North Dakota and that general vicinity there for a week or so. And then after that, models are just completely uncertain. After that, we get well beyond 200 hours. So this is all going to change. Eventually, the Omega block breaks up. According to the GFS, it really starts to break up after June 10th. So like June 11th into the 12th, it breaks up. But still, you have this dominant high pressure that stays over the U.S. according to this model run, which it's going to change. I'd be pretty surprised if we have that dominant high pressure. Last time models showed this was for late May, and we all know how that worked out, huh? Here we are in late May sitting with over 300 tornadoes that have occurred this month, so I would not be putting any bets on the GFS model being correct here. It does look like we may have the potential for an extra tropical system to spin up as well towards the northwestern Atlantic, but I don't think they're going to name that or anything unless they've highlighted an area, and they have not. So I don't expect that to be anything. As for the tropics, we'll be watching probably towards late June. I believe they've already outlined, from June 12th to the 18th for the potential of an AOI out there in the southern Gulf and the western, right over the Yucatan Peninsula. So we'll see if that ends up occurring. So we'll have to keep an eye on the tropics, but typically those tropics don't really wake up until August. Normally, that's when it really starts to pick up. but it's always very possible that we see tropical systems before that. We've had tropical systems in January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So just typically August, September, October, those are your 3 main months. And then November, it dies out rapidly most of the time, minus the 2020 season. And then December, normally November, December, you're focusing on second season severe weather. And sure, I guess you can look at winter too, if you like snow. I like snow, but I really just don't like forecasting it at all. There's not a chance of a tornado outbreak or strong tornadoes in the near future. That's what I see. But, you know, nearly a daily occurrence of weak tornadoes will probably be the case until that high pressure builds in. But I just don't think we'll have any, like, big, significant threats. Nothing like what we had in early May. I mean, all the way from, like, mid-April all the way to mid-April all the way to mid-May and even, you know, into now. It's been absolutely ridiculous. So let me use the GEFS Supercell Composite. Welcome, Paris. On Hurricane Center. Oh, hurricane season prediction for me. So I already released my hurricane forecast if you want to go find that. I don't know how long ago I released that. Probably just around a month ago. It was probably just less than a month ago. I forgot. Sometime in I think it was early May I released that. But Florida's probably going to have an above average season. It's all about what occurs with the dust towards the middle of the season. That is destroyed forecasts before. So, you know, if for some reason we see a whole lot more waves of dust than normal, then, you know, your above average season is probably just going to flop. And it'll probably, or I should say your historic season is probably going to flop. Because we could definitely see a historic season. But what is this showing? June 2nd, it shows a little sneaky system in North Dakota, Minnesota. I don't know how I feel about that. And it's actually decently confident in the potential for severe weather that far north on Sunday, June 2nd. Kind of a bit of a bimodal setup. That's actually pretty interesting. It's not your big mega troughs that we've been seeing this year, but I do want to take a look and see if the SPC's mentioned anything about that. What is that? June 2nd, Sunday? Severe probabilities are being maintained at less than 15% so far. However, this could change in later outlooks for the time frame, particularly in Sunday. So they are talking about adding a 15% Sunday, Monday, and maybe even Tuesday. Wow. Interesting. I don't think any of those days would be high-end tornado potentials at all. Maybe with the exception of Sunday, because that did grab my attention quite quickly. That's not a bad setup at all for severe weather for the northern high plains. So, yeah, let me read that. A couple of embedded progressive shortwave troughs will be possible across the Canadian-U.S. border area. Let's see. The potential for sufficient thunderstorm development around Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. However, the guidance suggests that the surface cyclone with trailing wave next Tuesday may be stronger, but it remains unclear whether this will lead into the northern U.S. Rockies or into the Canadian Rockies, into Canada prairies. Due to the considerable amount of uncertainties, the severe probabilities have been maintained at less than 15%. So we might have a little sneaky system. Whoa. Hold on. We might have a little sneaky system that tries to pull through here in the northern high plains. 10-degree dew point temperature spread. The lower levels are a little bit on the lacking side, but still good enough to the point where tornadoes would definitely be more of an issue with this. high instability. That is very high instability. A really good photograph you guys can see there. And a lot of analogs for supercells and severe hail. So probably going to have a little sneaky system, but like they said, some uncertainties persist here. Sunday. So this is Sunday on the European model, and it has it too, just maybe a little bit more to the south. But yeah, definitely where that broader amount of flow meets the instability on Sunday towards like North Dakota, Minnesota, that could be an area of interest for severe weather. Yeah, you can see the European model does initiate thunderstorms there pretty well. It's really hard to depict off of if those are like severe thunderstorms or not based off the European because it's so low resolution. But based off the ingredients, it would probably be at least damaging winds there. Potential for damaging winds. So probably a sneaky northern high plains setup. And then, like I said, we'll probably get into the slip and slide here. Lord have mercy, that's a lot of instability. So a lot of instability, but no wind shear, like, at all. So that would result in very, very minimal tornado threat, except for on the northern edge where that belt of flow right here meets the instability axis. So, like I said, we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for some severe potential for sure for damaging winds, large hail, and a few weak tornadoes over the next couple weeks. But in order to determine if this is more of a outbreak potential, we're going to have to just wait until we get closer. But I still don't see, honestly, that is debatable, though. We might have some potential for at least severe, more notable severe threat on Sunday, June 2nd. But other than that, I don't see like any major trough. Normally when we look on these model runs, for instance, if I go a while ago, oh, well, sure, I guess you're just not going to let me. Normally when we look on these model runs, what we see is we see a trough leaving the U.S. Check. We also see a high pressure building in. Check. Then we see a more stronger belt of flow of a trough later in the model run. Let's see if we see that. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. But, oh, well, shoot. Too far north. Well, yep, there goes that. So, nope. So, we don't have that big, crazy trough that we normally see in, like, April, May, continuing into June. So, the CFS would probably depict this pretty well. CFS, Supercell Composite. If you want to show me, that would be great. There it is. Clear all that off. There you go. So here's the CFS. This is one of my favorite things to use. See you later, Grayson. Thanks for tuning in. So for long range, this is something I like to use a lot. And oh boy, that is a dead giveaway right there. Look at that. June 2nd, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Most of these have an elevated chance of severe weather, at least supercell composite here. So the main day looks to be the 2nd and the 3rd, and that would probably be just simply model uncertainty on which day is bigger. But June 2nd, June 3rd, probably going to be a bit of an issue there. And you could tell when that Omega block builds in. Look at how fast that builds in after June 4th. Your potential for severe weather just, I mean, let me just show a graph. They normally have it. See this? So this is your potential for anomalies, I think. Oh, nope. This is supercell composite. So we're going to follow the control member group, the black line. So, whoa, for June 1st, June 2nd, starts to plummet, and then the Omega block builds in, and boom, we are just chilling below 0. I didn't know you could have... Oh, yeah. That's probably for... Let's see. Daily sum of supercell composite. Okay. Yeah, these are anomalies. That's what I thought. That's what I was looking for. Anomalies right there. Because I was like, normally you can't have negative supercell composite, but this is anomalies. So, I mean, basically what you look for with this is anything above 1. And you can see we have a little bit of a, what are we at? The 29th. So the 29th, we have a little bit of an uptick, and then we go down for the 31st. No, this is the 30th, right? Yeah, we go down for the 30th, and we try to climb back up for the 31st, and then we just get that trough on the northern edge of the U.S. Northern Great Plains, and that shoots all the way up, and then once that leaves, it shoots all the way back down. That omega block builds in, and we kind of steady off our severe weather season for a week or two. So that's actually pretty good agreement there between these ensembles and the control member groups, as well as the medium between all of them, that we will be inactive beyond June 5th. So it looks like we're going to have one more window of opportunity here from about June, maybe, June 1st through June 3rd. So that's what, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and maybe even into Tuesday as well. Then if we go back on over here, this is the supercell composite for week 1. You could tell that, again, we're really looking at the western plains for the potential of severe weather. And then as we go into week 2, you'll see it's still present in the southern plains, but it's not as potent per se there. And then June 12th through the 18th splits it up into 2 different areas. So like I said, we'll probably have some slip and slide severe weather systems that try to pull through from the northern plains into the mid-Atlantic. And then we'll still have some southern plains action. So we're definitely not going to get inactive per se, but we're definitely going to get less severe weather opportunities than what we had in April and May. The trough after trough after trough after trough after trough type of ordeal that we've been dealing with should not be the case here. But like I said, one more opportunity from June 1st through about June 3rd, maybe into June 4th. Definitely June 1st and 2nd. Again, I could show you that based off of this. June 1st and June 2nd have those above average anomalies. And then it rapidly comes down for June 3rd. So it definitely looks like we'll have severe potential. And that's probably going to be a little bit more of a notable severe threat. Again, June 1st, June 2nd. So that's another thing that I like to look when forecasting pretty far out. Now, I do want to look, this is not official, but I do want to look at the CSU just to see if it happens to have anything here. So this is, not the SPC, of course. This is pretty much just a model run, honestly. But I want to see if it has anything for, let's see. Yeah, it does. It does. It has a broad 15% there for, this is June 2nd. So what if we go to a day before that? Yeah, so June 2nd, it has a broad 15%. I wouldn't be surprised to see the SPC introduce a 15% generally up in that area. Maybe a little bit more east than what CSU has, because that trough looks to be a little bit later on some model runs than day 6. Southern Plains action, day 7, day 8. Yeah, and it just tampers off pretty fast. After like day 5, day 6, it's there, but it's not as interesting. So we'll be watching probably June 1st and June 2nd. So this is June 1st, June 2nd on the CSU. What about tomorrow? Oh, I'm kind of surprised CSU does. Oh, wait, hold on. Wow, honestly, a bit surprised. So it does have a 30% for hail there, but like I said, if the SPC is going to upgrade anything, it would probably be for hail, right along where the CSU has it, in that general area, where we're most confident in storms initiating. So yeah. If you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. The goal is 50 likes on briefings. We've already hit that. So we're going to try to hit our coverage stream likes, which is 100. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe with the notification bell set to all. The whole point of these briefings is to reach as many people as we can before the severe weather occurs. And then once it occurs, we can just completely home down in on coverage. So yeah, I hope that hopefully you guys have had a great day. We're going to continue with this briefing, just talking about the severe potential. Let me just show y'all this real quick, too. So Where'd you go, buddy? Where'd it go? There it is. Bro disappeared on me. Let's see. Do you think that there'll be severe weather in Nebraska or mainly North Dakota, Minnesota? I think North, South Dakota, Minnesota will have chances. I don't know if it's going to get into southern Nebraska. We'll have to wait, but I do think you'll have at least some chances there. Otter, maybe. YouTube just doesn't give me notifications for comments sometimes. Like, I'll get it for one comment, and then when I go and click on that comment, I'll see that there's been like 6 more I've missed. I'm like, bro, come on, YouTube. But yes, I did see that. Okay, so let's zoom in. Right off the bat, dead giveaway for a inactive. Well, you know, if this was towards like March, I'd say this was inactive. But since we're in June, a less than May active severe setup here for late May into early, or actually this is into early June, into mid-June, June 6th through the 12th there. You have a big high pressure that builds in out to the west, and I imagine if we go for week 3, that's gonna, yep, move to this. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Above average for my area. That's above average for a lot of the U.S. Do they have... Lord have mercy, it's going to be hot out there. Precipitation... Not that interesting. Wow, but anyways... So with these temperature outlooks, typically if you're going to have a big severe weather setup on the horizon, the CPC will highlight a area of below average temperatures, hinting towards a trough, and then most of the time you'll have an area of above average temperatures out here. So if we go to the 8 to 14 day, this is completely reversed. The blue should be out here and the red should be over here. But because we still have an area of clashing in that area to the southern plains, hence the above average of precipitation as well. Like I said, we're not going to get inactive for severe weather, but we should be at least not as active as May and April. Now, watch me be completely dead wrong here. And yeah, and then in the 1 month outlook, I am loving this. Look at that. June 8th through the 21st, above average. May 16th through June, above average. June, July, August, above average. I am loving this. I don't even know if you guys could see all of that. But look at that. Above average, above average, above average. I love that outlook. You know, I imagine that's for hurricanes as well. Say hi to my friend Pam from Ohio. Hello, Pam from Ohio. Glad to see you in here as well. And King, glad to see you here. Anything special for Central Texas? Mainly hail threat. You know it. You know it. You've been in Texas for a little while, huh? Because you know that it's mainly the hail threats. Actually, I'm going to switch it all over on this monitor. I keep forgetting that I have 2 monitors, so whenever I want to move something, I bring it over to the main one. But yeah, hail. A lot of hail. I don't see too much of tornado opportunities. You know, I'll look at it for tomorrow real quick to show you a simulation of what I think tomorrow will be like. So tomorrow, I'm expecting a lot of storms to fire all the way from like the northern panhandle of Texas all the way down to the southern portion of Texas towards Fort Stockton. Main threat by a milestone should be large hail up to 3-inch in diameter. Damaging winds upwards of probably 65 will be possible. And weak tornadoes will be on the table tomorrow, but it's not going to be that high of a chance whatsoever. Then it should grow upscale if the capping doesn't build in, which this is where we get a little bit uncertain here. It should grow upscale into a line of damaging winds and move through like the Abilene area, south of Fort Worth into Killeen, College Station overnight. So, yeah, mainly hail and wind. Let's see. Temple, Texas. Yeah, honestly, you should be okay. I don't think you'll get that much severe weather, but overnight, probably some wind and rain and some thunder. Let me look at your outlook. Yeah, see, they have you in a slight risk tomorrow for wind. Wind. There you go. You're in a 2% for tornadoes, but the main issue is a 15% chance for wind within a 25-mile radius of your area. And it's not hatched, which means the damaging wind should be at the most 60, maybe pushing 65, but it should not be over 70. Unless they add a hatched area, then that means, confidence is growing a bit more and the chance for significant winds. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Misty. Glad to see you in here. Much better, Lee. Definitely a lot better than yesterday afternoon. I probably could have streamed last night. Instead of streaming, I just worked on the video. But I probably could have streamed like at 8 p.m. or so. I started feeling better last night. But yesterday, like the afternoon into the early evening, I was just no energy. Zero. Uh-oh. YouTube, what did you do? Are we lagging, y'all? YouTube is either lying to me or we are lagging. It looks good on my end. How's it for y'all? Hopefully okay. It's still running smooth. Yeah, I saw severe weather. I'm thankful for that. I'm glad it wasn't much tornadic activity. We did have an EF1 though. Was it Sunday, I think? Yeah. Sunday. Good, 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 good. Not for me. Don't see lag. Yep. Classic YouTube lying to me again, huh? Come on, YouTube. Man. Making me think I'm not live. Because we used to have Wi-Fi problems, and then Lucky fixed it all for me. Came over here and fixed it for me, and then boom. I had no Wi-Fi problems. Haven't experienced even buffering since. Hello, Angela, and sure. This is a briefing, so I do not mind zip codes or anything whatsoever. As long as you're not spamming it. Because it's not coverage. So when we do coverage, typically I'll do like a zip code once an hour sometimes. But yeah, Baton Rouge, you're in a special weather statement right now. So if you're in downtown Baton Rouge, a lot of heavy rain, some thunder, and maybe, let's see. Yeah, maybe some gusty winds and very small hail currently. But barely any risk at all for tornadoes. I don't think you're in the risk for tornadoes. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer to see what Friday looks like. But Friday looks like the potential for at least some gusty winds and maybe some damaging winds. Wait, what? Damaging winds and small hail. My word. So this is just a model run. It's going to change because this is one of our least accurate models, but the best we can do. And it shows some hail cores, maybe some damaging winds. Still west of Louisiana. I think the SPC has you in a day 3 risk here. So yeah, Alexandria, Lake Charles, and Shreveport pointing west in a slight risk. So I don't think that's going to be much of a tornado opportunity though. So you should be all right. Just, keep an eye out for some gusty winds. But it's nothing that's like tornado outbreak or strong tornadoes or anything that should be widespread. Unless we have like a crazy uptrend, which is very rare to see. But it should not be anything crazy at all. Greenville for Friday. So we don't have the most, the best models whatsoever, but your severe threat is probably going to be hail and wind. This particular model shows like nothing for you, so that would be good. Honestly, I know you said Friday, but I would be watching more of tomorrow. You are in a marginal for tomorrow, so there could be damaging winds that roll through about 9 p.m., 9 p.m. tomorrow, late in the evening. And then Friday, we'll have severe weather that's possible, but I really want to wait for Friday because I'm not close enough. I don't like this model run at all. Typically, it's very, very wrong. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, main threat will be hail and wind. I don't know if they say anything about tornadoes. Yeah, wind and hail. I'm sure at least a weak tornado may be possible, but it shouldn't be anything over the top. Severe probabilities may be needed in later outlooks for where? Texas coastal areas? What? Huh. Maybe they're talking about, like, here for a slight risk? I don't know. I don't know what they see. Mm. I don't know at all. Um, but yeah. That is a 40% MCD. So, the just a recap over the absurd months of April and May. We had over 300 tornadoes in April, and we are well over 300 tornadoes in May. The biggest tornado, to my knowledge, out of the last 2 months was an 1.8 mile wedge tornado that hit northwestern Arkansas towards Decatur. Or Decatur. I probably butchered that. And I think that was on the 24th. Let me go look. Let me go look. Because they should have that surveyed by now. Lord have mercy, that's a big freaking wedge. Oh, wow, I was dead wrong. The 25th into the 26th. Want to see how big it was? Let me show you. There's your big wedge. Look at that sucker. The last time I saw one that large, I can't even tell you that, because that thing's huge. Look at that. That is a biggins. Let's see. 1.8 miles there. Let's see if we can get a 1.9 miles there. This was very close to a 2-mile wedge. Very, very close to a 2-mile wedge. That's the biggest one I've seen in a long time. And then the strongest tornado is still... Oops. We gotta go back a bit further. Strongest tornado is still this one. Yes, the Greenfield one in Iowa. Which is still rated EF4 with wind speeds of... Well, this has 180, but it's still 185. Yeah, 175 to 185. They haven't officially put in a solid wind estimate of that. Oh, they got EF4 damage indicators. Damage warning, by the way, real quick. This is 175. Oh, well, never mind. They don't have pictures for it. Oh, never mind. They do. This one's 175. Jeez. Is the Greenfield one. Absolutely crazy. Man. Gracious day. What was that rated? 170? I'm surprised that wasn't the highest damage indicator. Jeez. That one's crazy. My word. Yeah, they haven't updated the injuries or fatalities at all from that, but I'm unfortunately pretty sure that is that we at least had a couple injuries and probably a few fatalities. I know for a fact we had at least one fatality. I can remember that one. And then gracious day. Look at all those tornadoes. This is the tornadoes so far in May. Just the month of May alone. Oh, do you notice the little thing up here? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's a storm me and Lucky chased. That's a storm me and Lucky chased. So we intercepted it back here towards Dublin, I believe. And the tornado occurred up here in Roanoke. I've been up here. I don't know if I've been in that exact street area, but I have been in like downtown Roanoke out in this area. I've been in this west more. I've been around this whole region. I don't know if I've ever gone into Salem, though. But I'm glad that I didn't chase into Roanoke, because that's a radar, a bit of a radar hole. The reason why is because the radar site is to the southwest of Roanoke. So it's not a radar hole, but it's a bit of a contamination issue, because it's close to the radar. The radar is south of Christiansburg, somewhere out here west of Rocky Mount. I think it's a little bit more west than that. So, yeah. Yeah, such a rocky terrain. Heck yeah, you bet. That's the Appalachians. That is the Appalachians for you. Ooh. When did this happen? I don't know. When the heck? May 9th? I don't remember that. I remember the double Charlotte tornado. Same day. I remember that. Oh, and then here's the EF3 from the other day. The Dawson Springs EF3 so far. 160, I believe, is what it's been rated. Yep. Pretty sure that was a pretty big tornado, too. I don't know if they have that. They don't have the width yet, but I'm pretty sure that was at least a decent tornado. I did see somebody say something about some area. Let's see. You're welcome, Lewis, and please don't feel obligated to donate. Just you being here is greatly, greatly appreciated. Port Arthur, Texas is what I saw. You've got a severe storm to your northeast. There's a lot of thunder and lightning near you. I don't think you'll see that much. It's probably going to stick off to your northwest, but the main day should be in the afternoon hours, I imagine, of Friday. About the early morning, afternoon hours of Friday. But that may change, and tornado threat's going to be low. I mean, it's going to be 2% or less. The wind threat will probably be your main concern. Let's see. Day 8? What day is that? Somebody said severe weather possible on day 8. Is that June 5th? No, this is in the future, above my face cam. That is at 2 p.m. on Friday. This is the current radar. Which, it honestly looks... at least similar. That's pretty cool. I didn't even notice that. And then in front of you, this is the instability. I wanted to look at June 6th. Oh, what do you know? Eh. Ooh. Ooh. Little trough. Yeah. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Can you believe it? We're already like halfway through 2024. Nope. Nope. And I am freaking glad that we are halfway through, or close to halfway through. I'm not looking forward to a very active, potentially historic hurricane season. Especially not after freaking tornado season. We forecasted an above average tornado season on this channel, the first forecast I've ever done for a tornado season. And it's pretty safe to say that we were genuinely correct. I don't think we were, you can never be exact, but yeah, Port Arthur, northern Port Arthur, getting a lot of heavy rain right now, maybe some lightning. Tour possible where? There's no current tour possibles. Oh, can I look to see if it's tour possible? Yeah, there's nothing out here. You said Eastern PA. So this stuff's just all lightning. I'll switch it over here. This is just all lightning, some very heavy rain. That's about it. There's no tornadoes possible out here today. I think most of our activity over the next few weeks should stay generally is what I'm trying to say. Generally, like west of Mississippi. So I think this area. is where most of our severe weather is going to stay over the next couple weeks. And as well as up north. I think there will be 2 areas. I think we're going to have, let me just draw a broad area. I think this area is going to be where we watch the most for severe weather. Right in here. So I think we'll skip most of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Louisiana's probably going to get in on some action, especially on Friday. Late tomorrow going into Friday. But after that, I think it's going to be more of Western Plains, Northern Plains, and then a slip and slide into the Mid-Atlantic. But who knows? I mean, it's good. It's June. Severe weather is going to be possible over the entire U.S. east of the Rockies. So if you live out here, severe weather is going to be possible for at least a day sometime in June, sometime in your location at some time frame. I ought to be correct about that. I don't know about southern Florida, though, but typically you see at least isolated severe weather in Florida. So there's some severe weather out there in Colorado right now. I imagine if they're chasing, they're probably out here towards Hasty. If someone's chasing, but today's not really a big day for severe weather. Tomorrow's bigger, but I mean, it's still possible today. It's just not as big. Let's see here. See if any chasers I follow are out there, and they are... Oh, come on, hurry up. Not. So I don't follow anybody who's live. But yeah. I don't know about being live tomorrow. Like I said, I'll probably be home late. So if I do go live tomorrow, if I'm up to it, it's going to be after 6 p.m. Eastern. Which right now, models say the main threat kicks up at 6 p.m. But I'll be home after 6 p.m. So I don't know about a live stream tomorrow. I shouldn't say I'll be home. I should say I won't be available, actually, until after 6 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. So, yep. All right, well, we're probably going to conclude. We have about 100 people watching. Please make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. Like the stream. We're 25 likes away from our second like goal, but we hit our primary one. So thank you guys for being in here. These briefings typically only last an hour. There's no point in continuing them longer. If we had a tornado warning, I might continue longer. We're at 7 severes, which is very low. So I highly recommend watching the storm chasing video I put out. I'll put a link to that in the chat right now. If you would like to go watch that, there's the link. That's a video I uploaded earlier today. Highly suggest doing so. Especially if you didn't watch the live stream when we chased. We had a couple hundred people watched it when we chased. So yeah. That's going to be about it, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the mods for modding. Once again, make sure you guys have left a like on today's live stream. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new and share the channel with your family, friends, social media. Welcome, Bella. Unfortunately, we're starting to close out. There's nothing to wait for. If we were close to the SPC Outlook, I'd do a little longer, but there's nothing to wait for, so we'll probably close out shortly. I hate that you're just tuned in, though, because I was looking forward to... Give me your zip code or something. I gotta do some weather for you. I was looking forward to doing something. Because you were talking to me on the video. Give me a zip code so I could give you a forecast. I'm near North Oak Ridge, Texas area. Gonna get crazy tonight. Probably not. I'll quickly do these two. Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, you're good. But tomorrow evening, yeah, definitely going to be watching out for severe potential. Unsure on how big it's going to be, but tomorrow night into Friday morning, it looks like a line of damaging winds might go through, so keep an eye on that. Thursday night into Friday morning, but you should be good tonight. I'll just double check. Yeah, you are. All right, let me quickly do Bella. I'm going to quickly do Bella's zip code. Oh, Virginia. Hey, we got pretty close to you. And by pretty close, I mean, like... within 100 miles of your location. You know, we had a tornado up here the other day. I don't know if they ever confirmed that. I gotta go check that, because I swear I saw a debris signature the other day on that storm. They did confirm it. Ah, told you. I knew it. That was up to your northeast, so that was up here somewhere. Up here we had a tornado. But honestly, here in Virginia, we only get like one severe threat every year, so you're probably going to be perfectly fine for the next few years. Let's see if there's even rain possible. I don't even think there's rain possible. Okay, let's check if there's rain possible over the next 300 hours. Oh, maybe some rain on the 4th. And maybe the 5th. Ooh, maybe even the 6th, too. And that's about it, so... not a whole lot at all. Yeah, they're a blessing and also very annoying at the same time, Bella. Southern Mississippi, you're good. I don't see much happening in Southern Mississippi at all. We gotta wrap this up fast. I'm just hurrying to look at this. Yeah, watch out for this strong storm heading towards Gulfport. Gusty winds, a lot of lightning, and heavy rain will be possible if it continues in that direction. And check Friday. Watch out for some isolated lightning Friday night. Once we get closer, I'll have more info on it. But we're going to conclude now, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Glad to have each and every one of y'all in here. Once again, if you are new to the channel, I ask that you guys please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. I hope I can stream tomorrow. I'm going to try to. If I'm too tired, I won't. So we'll just see. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, watch severe weather, and go watch the storm chase. I'll put it in the live chat. And yeah, have a great rest of your night. Goodbye. Stay safe, watch severe weather in the tropics, and I'll see you guys in another live stream. Have a great rest.